The classic devices of Acustica Applicata is DAD, is a bass trap, but with a great capability to have also a diffusion behavior in the room, and so the rotation, the orientation of the tool inside in the certain position inside of the room, and the position in the corner or in the first reflection point in the room is extremely useful and efficient from the listening position to adjust the energy in the stereo soundstage. Coming back to our last devices, Vulcano is a acoustic resonator, and we develop it trying at the maximum we will be able to simplify and to have also a cheaper acoustic resonator, because Polyfemo has an important price. Vulcano have a very simple tool. In the base there is the tube that can shift up and down to adjust the main internal frequency resonance, and it's important the aspect you remind about the measurement is very easy with a right track, maybe a bass, a guitar or a voice in the listening position, feel or by our ears or just touching the resonator and go up and down with the tube. You in certain situations it's very easy to understand when the tube starts to vibrate more intensively. You are just very on the frequency and resonance that is necessary. But generally is much more a complete analysis if you do this by the listening position, because it is easy at the same time to understand where the frequency resonance is correct. And we have also the idea what happens in the sound stage, because generally when you found the right frequency, you have immediately the feeling of more depth, more stability, stereophonic stability, more focusing, and so is many inputs that arrive to the listener that give him the certainty that the regulation is the proper one.
Is this to compensate some shortcomings in the room, or is it a tweak to make the whole system better?
We think that this is Vulcano is important also because only one Vulcano in a room without any other kind of acoustic treatment can give an immediate feeling of improvement. This because mainly we develop Vulcano to put Vulcano in this position.
Yeah, between the speakers.
Between the speaker in the middle.
Yeah.
We know that generally we have the shelf with the electronics, but that position is so important in stereophony like the listening position, because the energy of the two loudspeakers crash one to the other. Yeah. So if I put a acoustic resonator there, I have a very powerful tool in a very strategic position to give a strong adjustment of a lot of energy that generally go all around the listening room without control.
It feels a little bit weird to put something between the speakers, because some people say that you don't want anything between the speakers, even not, well, a lot of people put their TV there or a projection screen or whatever, and it shallows the depth of the image.
Yes.
And you say just put the resonator there, and the whole sound stage gets bigger and deeper and wider.
Yes, we know, and as you've seen, Vulcano can work obviously also on the lateral walls, on other positions. We have to remember that Vulcano, as Polyfemo or DADs, work where there is the maximum sound pressure. So generally, the position on the lateral wall closer to the loudspeaker is a point of strong sound pressure. If I can, this is a very, very good position.
Yeah.
We have to have in mind that the name of Vulcano is easy to understand. Is for the slope of the cap and the crater hole.
Yeah.
The degree of these slopes internally and externally, because also internally is not flat.
No.
Have a certain degree is so important. So important. The first prototype was flat, but we understand that it's so important because it's necessary to have a little bit pneumatic effect from the resonance frequency.
Yeah.
And from the hole, we use the vertical direction of the resonance energy that flow from the hole for stereophony to give the much more focusing and a three-dimensional focusing.
Mm-hmm.
So practically they are the best partner, each one to the other.
That was my next
Because
question. You want to combine them?
Yes, because resonator, our resonator, adjustable resonator work where DADs unfortunately can arrive to go so down with the frequency.
Cool. I see something in the middle.
Yes,
What is it and what can it do?
this membrane in the middle then can be oriented from horizontal to totally vertical position.
Mm-hmm.
Change the characteristic of sound energy that flow through the crater hole.
Yeah.
And from the listening position, just change the tonality of the sound, but also a little bit the position in the space. Because if we have a degree a little bit toward the listener like this, we have a little movement of the singer toward the listener. On the contrary, we have a little bit increasing of the depth, and obviously we can adjust the better situation.
Yes.
Practically, this
If you put it horizontally, it blocks quite a lot.
blocks not completely. It works like the membrane inside the engine, two-stroke engine that have the membrane inside, and so practically this is pneumatic working, because work on the. Take in mind that in Vulcano, like in Polifemo, the axis of the resonance is vertical. Yep. Because the resonance starts to go up and down in vertical, and when we change this position, practically we change the energy and the behavior of this energy. Mm-hmm. And obviously the whole the crater hole is here because the vertical flowing of this part of energy that flow in the room is extremely efficient and useful to give more focusing and three-dimensional focusing.
Cool. I want to hear it. I
Absolutely.
want to experience it.
Yes.
Let's experience it.
Extreme, eh? The tonal balance is much better.
Also, it's focused there, you know. The beginning was like this, you know. The beginning was like.
Even from here, no? Yeah, no, everywhere you said you hear the same. Even outside the car.
Het was dus net helemaal van waaien. Het staat echt gefocust daar.
Dat is echt een resonantieweg.
And then, listen, what I'm going to change. I'm going to change something, just, it's not bad or good, maybe you do. He's going to change.
Dat is bizar.
And you can tune because you can tune in the room how much bass extension you have.
Instantly hear that this is not correct.
Yeah, instant. Yeah.
Ja,
Instant.
het lijkt of die bas dan
Ja.
dit ding dan boem. Ja.
That means in this
Now it's
room.
gone.
Yeah, now it's gone. Yeah. In this room, we need this situation.
Ja.
You know?
Wauw, dat is echt groot verschil. Ja.
It's much more.
Wild nights, wild nights.
It's amazing, hè?
Dat is wel.
Het is veel. De andere is wat haziger.
Ja, ja.
Even.
Were I with
Deze straf, maar de stem staat ook wel nu heel breed.
Oké.